Hi, I'm Thomas Anthony Jones. You might know me from Good Trouble or This Is Us. I encourage you to watch The Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Next, Michael Finkley.
Celebrating Father's Day.
AJ Lewis, Rashad King, and Daniel Laurie share their stories and journeys as fathers.
On the next Finkley.
Making through the night just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. Just to make it. Just to make it. I've been working all my life.
Everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thanks for joining us on an awesome holiday special. Now, I realized I had to do this, realized it months ago, and I realized I wanted to do this because there are a lot of awesome fathers out there doing some incredible things in the world, and of course, preparing their children for the next, which is our next generation. So I had to highlight three amazing persons today doing it up in different situations in life. Some are single fathers, some are co-parenting, some are fathers who have adopted. Myself, I'm not a father, but I have a niece, I have nephews, I have mentees, advisees, students I work with over the years that I consider myself a father figure to them. They can talk with me, they can vent to me, I give them money, we celebrate birthdays, those type of things. And so whatever capacity, my males, whatever capacity that you see yourself in someone's life, you are that father figure to them in that way. So we celebrate you on today. Happy Father's Day, and we'll be right back.
Coming up, we chat with AJ Lewis. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, my name is Arthur Vernon R. Matthews Jr. I just wrote a new book called Family Ties, and I also want to say a special shout out to one of the kids that I mentored and has got his own TV show on Roku, Michael Finkley, and this is 100th episode. So if you guys want to really hear about this book and see what's going on, check out Mike Finkley on The Finkley Show.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I am so excited to be talking to our next guest now. We have grown up together in church, and I've seen this awesome man turn from a young man to the man he is today, and to the father that he is today. I'm presenting to you all AJ Lewis. AJ, thank you for being with us today.
It's good to be here, man. How you doing?
I am doing well. Again, thank you so much for taking out a little bit of time out of your day to chat with us. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, we grew up together, and I saw you transfer from a young man to the man you are today, the father you are today. And you have two boys that I know you love to death and do anything for. So who are some of those, what were your role models like growing up and becoming that father you are today?
As role models, I guess I have some some heroes or role models that are like that I could touch and feel, and then there were others that are like, I guess, through media, but it's always been my two granddads, and well, one of my granddads passed, but at the time, just growing up, my two granddads and my uncle. Like my father left when I was 2.
Yeah.
So getting, yeah. That would be now. But yeah, just be my granddads and my uncle. Like they're the ones who kind of like I say, for my mom's dad, James, he actually gave me my first job. Taking care of the rabbits that he has. I would have to. He's like, I'll give you $50 if you come like every Saturday, and and feed and water the rabbits. And then sometimes the rabbits would get out, and I'd have to chase them down. So that's like another country living thing that I had to do. For my other granddad, we would fish, so he would like teach me like the art of patience. Like waking up in the morning and like just being there for hours, just waiting for that fish. But even as we were waiting for like something to be on our line, he would just be giving me nuggets. He would just be talking. He was just sharing some of like his old man knowledge and like his energy. Yeah. So those were my role models in reality. When I was younger, I would get off from school. If anyone that's watching is old enough, they will remember Toonami on Cartoon Network.
Don't age us, man. Don't age us.
Oh yeah. But that was my thing, coming home from school and watching that. And I would like watch Dragon Ball Z, and I would watch like people like Goku on there, like raising up his son, and I guess like Piccolo raising up Gohan. And like it's to me, like those were like things that impacted me in terms of like me like toward fatherhood and like some of the stuff
Yeah.
like I wanted as a child and that I couldn't have or want from my father.
Yeah.
So I look to all those men, great men, to for man knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Man knowledge, right? Because
Hmm.
you mentioned that your father wasn't there, right, in your life as he
Hmm.
should have been. What was that like for you growing up fatherless?
It's eh, because he left when I was so young. It's not. It's like I didn't really have anything to compare it to. I think I was like I was going to elementary school. My mom was dropping me off, and I would see like other kids have like their dads like get them out of the car and like put their book bag on, even like hug them. And I would just look and be like, and I would ask my mom if I had a dad. So, and then I would, and like seeing that from other people, um, I would just like wonder like what that was like.
Yeah.
I could only be like I was ever only out on the outside looking in, so I never really, you know, had had that growing up.
I can definitely relate to that. My father wasn't there as he should have been. But even in my adult life, because he wasn't there, I learned so much in that right of what not to do. So, what
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
did you learn not to do because he wasn't there?
Um, mostly just being there,
Mhm.
like being like fully present, which I admit I haven't always been even with my kids. But like being present and active with my kids is like I don't know, it's like it's something for me and like I'm like I've been a child. So I can kind of like know what's maybe going on in their minds at whatever age. Like my oldest is 6 now and my youngest is 3. Um I can kind of think back to around the age of 6, kind of what I was thinking. Like, oh, like if they're not talking to me, they must not like me, type of thing. Like that, like thoughts of a child.
Yeah.
So I make sure like there's like I just make sure I'm there, like when I listen to them, no matter what, if even if they told me this like for the 50th time, I make sure I like try to give them my attention. And there is this I do this, but then I thought about it like why I do it like later on, but I kind of do this thing where I like just put my hand on my son's head on and like it's kind of like I'm here type of thing, even though like I don't consciously put that together, but it's like I just do it. It's like I'm here with you. So yeah, I think I answered your question. I'm
You
not
did.
okay.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You did. So
Mhm.
you're in a new phase in your life now. You're in a new
Mhm.
reality in your life
Mhm.
now, from being coupled to now being a single father.
Mhm.
What does that reality look like to you now?
Um, it's just a reality of just learning and unlearning and learning again. Um, like I said, I haven't always like been present with my kids. So, and there was a time in life where I was just like
Mhm.
work, and going over on the overtime. And when I would come home, I'd be tired.
Yeah.
So 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 that was during like when we were all like the family unit, and when that crumbled and I kind of had to like I don't know, just pay attention now. I just saw all the stuff that I haven't been doing. I hadn't been like doing like their homework or have checking their homework, hadn't been like trying to teach them things. um yeah, it's just like, oh, I just realized like how much like how much effort I hadn't been putting in when it comes to like raising them, because like they're gonna be grown men, grown men in the world. And like if someone asks them like, "What your father teach you?" or like, "What do you get from your father?" and it's like, "Well, he worked." And like when I think of the reality of that, the reality of what that could have been, it's like, yeah, I really need to press the gas when it comes to like this parenting, being present, active, and aware of the upgrowing of their lives, because they could turn out like anything. And like is at I mean, the time good thing I caught them soon, like as young as they are, because they could be like teenagers and when I finally wake up, and then like, I don't know what I have to deal with. There's all types of trauma and troubles that teenagers go through. So I'm just glad I woke up when I did.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. You said, I love that. You woke up. You woke up. You woke up. Many can't say that. Many don't do that. But you woke up and now you're realizing, here it is, and here I am. And so in going forward and being that role model for your boys, what do you want them to remember most about you when they tell their stories to their children?
What would I want them to remember? I would want them, like, if it's like a moment, if it's like when I'm just gone and they're just like telling people, like my dad, like he gave me everything that I needed, or like he made sure I got what I needed to get me where I am now. And if where they are now is like, healthy, thinking, and just strong men, I would want them to remember that of me.
I love it. I know they will. And in the state that you're in now as a single father, so many out there, we don't talk about it as much. We always talk about the single mothers aspect, but not the single father aspect. So what would you say to the single fathers out there as you are that are still trying to make it? What encouraging words would you give them?
I mean, just keep going. Just keep going. Know what you're doing, know what you're doing it for, who you're doing it for. Because there have been like nights and days where I would just be in tears with what I couldn't give them, and like, because I'm doing this with rent. They have school. I gotta pay for school, and then we really don't have food right now, or like, stuff like that. And even in those moments, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta dig down like deep to do, like to go out and be and do, and just always just keep in mind like what I'm doing it for, who I'm doing it for. And I guess in a way I'm doing it for them, but also for, I guess, like the little 6-year-old me that didn't have this, and like kind of like what my kind of evolution in childhood has been. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again for telling your story and being who you are, the father that you are, and the father that you need to be in this society. Thank you, AJ.
Next, we have Daniel Laurie with us. Back in a moment. Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to join and tune into The Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I am so excited to actually have this Father's Day special this year, and we're meeting some incredible fathers with incredible stories. So you may recognize this person beside me. He's no stranger to our show. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back, Daniel Laurie. Daniel, thanks for being with us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you are a father of 3. And so when you became a father, what were the first thoughts or feelings that came in your mind?
Okay, so I became a father at 20. So there's a backstory to what I'm about. So me and my dad, we had a falling out. It wasn't a major falling out, but we didn't see eye to eye because I thought I was smarter than him at the time. I got injured in the Army, so he thought it was self-sabotage. He thought I did it on purpose. I dropped out of high school because I was smarter than my father, you know what I mean? So we actually had a small falling out. So I remember November 26th, my ex-wife's water broke. And I called the house and I was like, please don't let dad pick up. Please don't let dad pick up. And of course, dad picked up.
Of course.
And I said, hey, April's water broke. We're on the way to the hospital now. So my daughter was born the following morning, which was the day before Thanksgiving. So, and I remember my dad coming in the hospital. My dad walked past me, picked up my daughter, smiled, and like, he looks at me, and for the first time in months, he said something to me. He says, you did good, and walked out the room. And all at once, all his life lessons seemed to make sense because everything that he was trying to teach me was prepping me for that one moment. So, and I remember walking out in the hallway and me giving him a hug and telling him thanks. And this is the first time I hugged my father in Lord knows how long. Because like I said, we had a falling out. So after that, I said, you know, let's do lunch sometimes. And from that moment on, everything that my dad was trying to teach me, I understood. And to this day, me and my dad, we have one of the best relationships in the world. I never get off the phone without saying, I love you, old man, or I love you, Mr. Laurie. Because like I said, once you have your first child, that really changes you. It just puts everything in perspective. All the things that you thought you knew in life is out the window because there's no manual to being a father. So everything that you thought you learned, you don't know anything. Just when you thought you had the answers, they changed the questions. So, but being a dad, actually how it changed me was it actually made me start questioning myself on some of the decisions I was making. Now, when I make a move in life or do anything in life, it's how is this going to affect the kids? It's not about me anymore. It's about the children.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And I love the way you said how, in a sense that you becoming a father, many of that relationship that you and your father had. So the lessons that you learned from your father, how are you conveying them to your kids?
It's funny because I say all the time, me and David Laurie, which is my dad, are the same person. There are certain things that he said that I find myself saying. There are certain things that he does that I find myself doing. I always say, you're not a father until you start telling dad jokes and start dancing in grocery stores offbeat, you know? But everything that he's done in his life, I find myself mirroring. And it's a surrealistic, but cool type of thing. And I was one of those parents, I mean, not parents, but I was one of those kids who was fortunate enough to grow up with my father in the home. To actually, you know, have my father there to go to for advice. There are sometimes I took that in vain. There are sometimes, you know, I looked at it as, oh, this man's just old, grumpy old man, so on and so on, when in all actuality, I never saw the sacrifices that he did. I never saw the fact that my dad had a previous marriage and had kids from a previous marriage. I didn't understand the stress and strain of taking care of 2 households, trying to maintain a single sanity. So if trouble goes on in this household, you got to run out and take care of these kids too. If something goes wrong in your own household, you got to take care of that. You have to basically, being a dad is one of the most underrated and overlooked jobs ever. A job that you don't get a paycheck for.
Right. That part. Mm-hmm.
And, being a father made me appreciate mine more. So.
Wow. That speaks volumes. So if I would talk to your kids today, what would they say? How would they describe you as a father?
I'm embarrassing. They would say, I'm the kind of person now, pull pranks, pull jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's all in love. It's all in fun. They will say I'm embarrassing. They will say I'm fun. They will say I'm stern but fair.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And so not only you're a father, but you're a Black father. Talk about that experience and how that's been thus far.
Being a Black father, I always say, is the unicorn, because society paints us as runners. We run away from responsibilities. We run away from family structure. We run away from everything. And that's far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already being stigmatized. Like, even if you watch certain shows,
mm-hmm.
like, let's just say Full House, there was one Black kid on there, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't have a father. He was in the house and his mom was raising him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I mean, there were shows like not Full House, but Family Matters, who had the Black dad in focus. But when you watch something like another show, like, let's use Friends as an example. If they had a Black person on there, they never knew their dad. Like, it was always ruffians. Like,
yeah. So
society always portrayed us as runners. They've always portrayed us as not being in the home, or statistic wise, when you look at urban neighborhoods, the Black father is absent. And my whole thing is to break the stereotype. So when I do look at myself as a Black father, I don't see the word Black. I see myself as a father.
Gotcha. Wow. So how do you want to be remembered as a father? How do you want your kids to remember you?
That is a question that I battle with. I want to be remembered as a great father,
mm-hmm.
but as any fathers, we have hiccups. As any father, we make mistakes. I don't want my children to remember me for the mistakes that were made. I want them to remember for the repairment of mistakes. No, you know what? I want my children to remember me as a hardworking, steadfast father who was always there when they needed them, who always had the answers to their questions. And if I didn't have a way to make something happen, I made it happen regardless of any situation.
Yeah.
If I had to rob Peter to pay Paul just to make sure that they had, I did. That's how I want to be remembered.
Wow. And I'm sure they will. I'm definitely sure they will.
I hope so. I look at my middle daughter and I'm like, geez. Well, my middle child, I'm like, geez, man. Like,
oh man, I love it. But thank you so much for sharing your words, your wisdom, and your knowledge. Daniel, we appreciate you, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, sir. Back in a moment.
Coming up next, Rashada King tells us his incredible story as a father. Back in a moment.
What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series. This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really?
If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you.
Hey, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, we have another incredible father with us today. None other than Rashad King. Rashad, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. I thank you for the invite.
Definitely. Now, I have been lurking you from afar for a while and just seeing the impact, just seeing your determination, your drive, and various things that you do in your life and within this life of your son as well. So we're going to talk about that later on. But what does fatherhood mean to you?
You know what? Fatherhood to me is really men helping, kids really align with their destiny. It's not us, projecting what we feel onto them. It's not allowing them to do, meet all of our expectations, but it's really just sitting back, understanding this kid, understanding what his purpose is, and just helping him to understand that and to actually fulfill that purpose. And to me, that is what fatherhood is all about.
Wow, I love when you say fulfilling his purpose. You're assisting in his purpose, which is incredible. You have a son I see that you adore so well. Describe y'all's all relationship. What does that look like on a daily basis?
You know what? I actually love our relationship because, we spend so much time together. We wake up, every morning, we go to the gym together. I'm glad that he actually enjoyed going to the gym because that gives us an opportunity to bond with one another.
Mm-hmm.
He's really taking a liking to spirituality because I practice IFA, so African spirituality, and he is learning, so much. He is really opening his mind, learning about the Orishas, learning about the ancestors, and then just making sure that he's in activities like karate and things like that, not only to keep him busy, but also to help him to stay disciplined.
Right. Wow, he stays busy. He definitely stays busy. And so not only do you pour into the life of your son, but you poured into many lives by way of foster care. Talk about that.
Right. So over the years, I became a foster parent at the age of 24. Over the years, I fostered 16 kids, and Elijah is the only one that I've adopted, out of the 16. When I first started off, it was just strictly working with teenagers, working with the kids that, honestly was always overlooked. Normally when people wanted to start a family, they never think of a teenager. It's always a little one. And so there are so many teenagers in the foster care system that need help and that need guidance. And it's not too many male role models stepping up to just be that support for them. So my first 9 placements was teenagers. My very first one was Andre. When I got him, he was 16. And so the goal was not to step in and be dad, but it was really to step in and be a strong support that, I can just really guide them along their path, helping them to finish school, talking to them about like, hey, what do you want to do, after, high school? And then one of the main parts is really being that therapeutic, that therapeutic person that is in their life that will help them with all of the mental trauma that they have been through in their lives.
And they have the person just for it. You are amazing, sir. Definitely amazing. One of a kind. Definitely. And so with this foundness, this thing that you found within yourself to help others within our youth of today, how do you want your boys to remember you?
You know what? I want my boys to remember me, I guess, as just as a free thinker. You know, that's the one thing that I always try to instill in them is to, you know, be that free thinker. You know, make sure that you question things. Don't just follow things just because someone is telling you, but making sure that you really, you know, understand the ins and out of everything. And I know that is the thing that I've tried to teach to them more than anything is really just, you know, being aligned with, you know, pretty much source, you know, being aligned, because as long as you're aligned with source, you really are allowed to be that free thinker. But it's when we replace source with so many other things, that's when we typically tend to follow man and not really aligning ourselves with source.
That is another segment, sir, because you said a mouthful right there. Definitely. But I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do for our youth of today. I know that they're getting a lot out of it because the person you are, the wholesomeness that you have to teach them what they need to know in this day and age, I know they're going to be better men in society for it. Not alone that I know you get the sense of pride as you do it as well. Thank you so much for telling your story.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you.
Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie, Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following two products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Trinice from American Idol, and I am encouraging you to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and YouTube.
For everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much, AJ. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much, Rashad, for being on our show today and telling your stories in your own words. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification. We'll see an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.